Hi everyone, I'm thriller author J.F.Penn and today I'm here with best-selling author Jeremy Robinson. Hi Jeremy.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Yeah, it's so good to have you on the show. I've been reading your books for a while and I can now see you have nearly 30 novels, I think, out there.
Yes, novels and novellas. Yeah.
So you are seriously prolific. You seem to put out books, novellas all the time. What do you think is what is your writing routine and how do you manage to output so much?
I generally work 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and so I try and leave a lot of time for my family, just like anyone else. And I think I get even more time with them because I don't commute. I just kind of walk up the stairs, and so I write most of the time just in the afternoon, because in the morning I do promotional stuff, marketing. And so I'm writing maybe 5 hours a day. But during that time, I write fairly quickly because basically any quiet moment I get, I'm daydreaming about what I'm going to write next. So when I actually sit down to write, I already know what I'm going to be writing for the day. And so all I have to do is hit the keys until I'm done. And generally, I write about 3,000 words a day when I'm writing a novel. There could be a month in between writing one book and the next, or maybe just a couple days. But so I did the math once, and writing 3,000 words a day, I think I could get like 12 books done a year if I really did 3,000 words a day. So I do six. So I'm not working as hard as I could be.
Well, it sounds like it, and you also space out. You're doing more novellas as well now. What is this? Is this a marketing thing or really a writing thing that you're writing that length?
The novella. So I Am Cowboy, and was written by myself. Um, and I did 8 novellas for my Jack Sigler chess team series, but those were written with co-authors, so I had help with those. And in general, the novellas are in response to fan demand that I can't keep up with on my own, except for I Am Cowboy. So it's one of the ways that I try and listen and respond to my fans. So a lot of people were giving me fan mail about Cowboy and asking for more Cowboy, and so I decided, all right, I'm just gonna do this for the people who really want to see more Cowboy. And when I did the chess team ones, it was because the third chess team book and the fourth chess team book, there was a delay between them because I was switching from publishing through Thomas Dunn to publishing myself. So I hired a couple of authors, and we put out the 8 novellas to kind of fill the gap between the full-length books, basically just for fans, so that they would have their yearly dose of chess team. It's not really for any other reason than that. They don't make more money than novels. They make less money than novels because not everyone wants to read a shorter book. But I like pleasing the readers, especially the fans who are the diehard fans. They're the ones who are going to buy it, and they're the ones who are spreading the words about all the books. So
Yeah, no,
yeah.
absolutely. And I guess you've mentioned Amazon. You've done a whole variety of publishing ventures, as far as I can see. You've had a small press. You've got a New York deal, I think, as well, and you self-published. Where do you think this industry is now and is going in terms of new authors? Because it's very confusing.
It's much more confusing than it used to be. It used to be that you just got an agent and then submitted everywhere. And I actually didn't do that. When I first published, I started self-publishing. And my agent found me, and then Thomas Dunn found me. And I've never stopped self-publishing because I write so much. And publishers don't want to publish 6 books from one author in a year. So for me, it's really just a matter of covering all the bases. I know there's a lot of authors who say you can only do it through Amazon, or you can only do it through self-publishing, or you can only do it through the Big Six, but I don't really see publishing as being one road or the other, and I prefer to cover all my bases, so I'm doing all 3. I don't know if there are any other authors doing all 3. I don't necessarily recommend it time-wise. It is pretty stressful when you have multiple deadlines for multiple publishers and the editing departments in both companies do it differently, and I do it differently when I hire people. So it's definitely more work having 3 publishers. And for new authors, I wouldn't even know where to begin now. I think that the one danger of being a new author now is self-publishing is so easy that I think a lot of people are rushing into it before they're ready. I spent between 10 and 13 years writing full-time without being paid before I thought I was good enough. And before other people thought I was good enough. And I don't think a lot of people are getting that kind of feedback or kind of being that harsh on themselves, which they really need to be. And I still am harsh on myself. So I think that's the danger that new writers face now. And I think you can use self-publishing as a tool to improve, where if you release a novel, you really have to pay attention to the reviews you get and then try and improve your writing. And if you then want to sell that novel, or if you get horrible reviews, you can just pull it down and it disappears. And you can change your name. But yeah, I don't think there's any one sure way to do it now.
No, absolutely. And I mean, in terms of a sure way to do anything, marketing would be the other thing. And you mentioned there that in the mornings you do marketing, in the afternoon you write. I do the other way around, actually. But what do you do in that afternoon of morning of marketing?
A lot of it in the morning is social media, is just catching up with people. I try to respond to everyone on Facebook and on Twitter and through email, and that can take 1 or 2 hours every morning just responding to people. And also, that's when I would work on creating the book trailers or other videos, audio production. What else do I do? Everything in the morning. Mornings are confusing. Interviews. Yeah, basically anything that isn't writing takes place in the morning, because I can't creatively, if I have that stuff kind of hanging over me, I have to get it out of the way.
I know that's interesting. So, I guess most people are either kind of a morning person or a night person, but you're doing an afternoon person thing.
Yeah. I don't know which. I guess I would be a night person, which is funny because maybe because I just can't sleep. But I probably do some of my best writing when I'm laying in bed at night and not sleeping, and then write it down the next day. But yeah, I think the marketing, and I actually do all my book covers myself. Well, I shouldn't say all of them. I do 80% of them myself. So that's also what I'm doing in the morning, is a lot of graphic design. And so it's also creative, so I have a lot of fun doing that, just like I do with the novels. And I've always done that since I was a kid. I've always been an artist. So I think it's 2 totally different types of creativity, where doing the art it can almost like clear my mind, which allows me creatively to really get into the writing after lunch. After lunch and Jon Stewart.
Most people don't have artistic skills, so most authors should not do their covers. So people watching, don't do your own covers.
Absolutely not. I was an artist for a long time. I went to art school, and I've been using Photoshop for about 20 years.
Exactly.
So, but if you can do that, then maybe consider it.
Yeah, but I do want to come back on the video, because I'm fascinated that you're doing these book trailers, because I haven't really seen much evidence that book trailers sell to people who read books. I mean, why do you do them just for fun, or do they actually prove to sell books?
I mostly do them because I enjoy making them, and I think I do a pretty good job making them. I guess people will have to go find them after watching this and see if I actually do a good job. For me, most of my trailers seem to get about 5,000 hits, which is pretty good. And I'm not sure if those turn into sales, but I think most of the people seeing the videos are people who are going to buy the books already. So it kind of helps them get excited about the book, maybe reminds them that the book is coming out. And it kind of makes my website look cool. It's right at the top of the website. The viral videos that I do are very different. I don't know how successful they are in translating to sales, but I know that they get a lot more views. There was one I did where we it was like a fake carjacking, where the guy who was being carjacked was reading my book, and he didn't really pay attention to the person who was punching him in the face, and it was ridiculous. But it's had, I think, around 300,000 views on YouTube. So in terms of getting your name out there, the viral videos can be a little bit better. But the book trailers, who knows? The new one would fall. The one I did for Amazon would fall more into the viral category rather than a traditional book trailer. It's not promotional about the book. It's just kind of like brand awareness. Like this is Jeremy Bishop. This is the kind of things he does, and we're basically trying to entertain the people who are watching it. We're not really saying this is what the new book is about and you should go buy it. So it's a totally different strategy than the typical book trailer, which I think in general book trailers aren't worth the time. I certainly would never pay for one myself. If I couldn't make it myself, I wouldn't do them.
No, I totally agree, and I'm glad you said that. And but I think everyone should go watch a couple of your videos and see what you do. But certainly, there's a lot of skill involved as well. So it's not something to easily do. So, but I do want to ask you also about writing thrillers, because obviously writers want to write good thrillers, and you write good thrillers. What would be sort of the three things that are most important about writing a thriller that people want to read?
I think first you have to write about a subject that you're passionate about, or a character that you're passionate about. There has to be something in it that excites you as an author, because if it lacks that, then you're going to get bored, and your writing is going to get boring. That's probably the most important thing for me. And in some ways, writing 30 novels has made that a challenge, because honestly, how much can you be excited about? So after what was the last book? Or after Project Nemesis, which was my giant monster, and then my next hardcover, which it's pronounced zombie, but it's spelled XOM-B. I had kind of fulfilled every writing dream that I had, and over the last few months, I've been racking my brain, like, what else am I excited about? Because I really need to find things that I'm passionate about to write about. And so I've spent the last few months doing a lot of research and reading a lot of magazines and books and trying to find those other subjects that aren't necessarily with me since childhood. Three things. Second, I would say for me personally, style-wise, I don't do tons of detail. I think adding even a paragraph description about a car is too much. Maybe a sentence. And there are a lot of novels that I put down when I get to pages of description. For me, that just slows it down. It doesn't really make it a thriller for me. I'm not sure what else you'd call it, but even Michael Crichton, whose books I love and who are a great influence on me, I would skip pages of his science, because he'd do 4 or 5 pages of science in a row, which didn't really propel the story forward. It was just kind of interesting science, and as interesting as it was, I was reading about characters running away from dinosaurs, and I wanted to get back to the characters running away from dinosaurs. Yeah, so for me, that's a big one, is to keep the pace fast. And my pace is probably faster than most.
It's very fast.
So, third, I would say for new writers, be professional. And that means take criticism, ask for criticism. When I finished my third novel for Thomas Dunn, I went to the editor and said, we've done 3 books, we're going to do some more. Please tell me what I can do better. And he was like, you are the first author to ever ask me that. And really, because I know I need to continue to improve. So I think working hard at improving and asking for criticism. A lot of people now are saying don't read your reviews on Amazon. And I understand why. Because some of them are just stupid people writing mean things. But there are also a lot of people, including fans, who write constructive criticism and offer great opinions. And so I will actually read all my negative reviews, and the ones that offer critique help me improve. And I think I have that outlook because I started in self-publishing, and a lot of the early critique I was getting were from readers rather than an editor, because I didn't have one then. So I think for me, just constantly trying to improve and be professional and conduct business with my agent and my editors in the most pleasant way possible is the way to go. And I think that will always produce better books.
That's brilliant. So what can people expect from you in the next few months, I guess?
Oh boy. Let's see. So I Am Cowboy just came out. The re-release of The Sentinel just came out. In the next week, I will be releasing a prequel to the chess team series. That is titled Prime and was co-authored with Sean Ellis, who wrote a lot of the chess team novellas with me. After Prime is The Raven on August 13th. We're up to 4 books already in just 3 months. And in September will be Omega, which is the 5th book in the chess team series. So we have Prime, which is the beginning of the chess series, kind of how the team all came together, and then Omega, which might be the final book in the series, coming out in September. In October, I might get a break. In November will be the sequel to Project Nemesis, which is currently titled Nemesis Rising. And then, am I up to 6 months?
Christmas.
Oh, Jeremy Bishop has 5 novellas coming out starting in November. And that series is titled Refuge. And so that will be November, and then every 2 weeks through January. I think we can probably start there. I think I probably have another book coming out after that.
Every writer who's just listening is just going, oh my goodness, you just... who can keep up with this? It's amazing. It's great to talk to you. So where can people find you and your books online? Online?
Online you can find me at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any other bookseller. All my books are available on Audible and iTunes as audiobooks, which is something that just finished happening about a month ago. I finally got all of them out in audio. And you can find most of my traditionally published books, the hardcovers and mass market paperbacks, in any store in America. A little bit harder where you are to find them.
And your website?
JeremyRobinsonOnline.com, or if you like horror, you can go to JeremyBishopOnline.com.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for your time, Jeremy. That was brilliant.
Thank you.